All right, good afternoon. I wish it was morning, running a little bit behind today, so apologies for the late video. And this is only going to be good for, maybe 2.5 hours or so, 3 hours, but that's all right. So we're talking Martinsville today, this short track. We got 400 laps of racing. So because of that, it's going to be a pretty high scoring slate. You really want to focus on those lap leaders, those dominators, and build around them. Track position is key here. Martinsville is a short half-mile flat track. They're going to be clocking laps off very quickly. It is notoriously a difficult track to pass at, especially in the next gen era. And luckily for us, we have an 8 race sample size that we can look at in addition to, how these teams unloaded this weekend for practice. So you look at the expensive range, you got Hamlin, Blaney, Larson, Bell, and Byron. My two favorite plays are going to be Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney. So Hamlin has 735 laps led over 8 races here at Martinsville. He has a win, 5 top 5s, starts on the pole. Everything projects that says, hey, he can hit the gas first and he should be able to, go out front and be your early lap leader. Um, Ryan Blaney is really good at Martinsville. Average finish of 4.3, 2 wins, 6 top 5s, and 7 top 10s over 8 races is very strong. He was also top 3 across all the practice metrics, actually ranked first in the 20 lap average, and he gives you some place differential upside. So he's a really good driver who maybe you compare with someone that you think is going to lead early, like a Denny Hamlin. Larson's pretty good at Martinsville as well, too. My only concern with Chevy and the Hendrick cars, and just I guess Chevy in general, is they haven't been as quick this year. I think they're still trying to get used to that new body style. But Larson was fastest in the 25 and 30 lap averages. His average finish is just pretty close to Ryan Blaney's 5.4, 1 win, 6 top 5, 7 top 10. So a lot of upside there. Maybe a nice pivot play off of the Blaney chalk. Bell's just a guy I'm not really getting to a lot. He does have a win here. He's a nice pivot option, maybe for lower ownership in tournaments. But if you compare his practice times and his historical stats to all the other guys priced up here, he's probably going to rank the lowest. Byron's a nice guy. I think you can either play him with Hamlin or in lieu of Hamlin. He has 3 wins at Martinsville in 8 races, which is very impressive. He's led over 650 laps over that time, which is the second most behind Hamlin. It's also $1,000 cheaper, starts on the front row, should be lower owned. So I like him a lot for tournaments. Um, Elliott's really good at Martinsville too, top 5 across all the practice metrics. He was first in the 10 lap. He has 4 top 5s, 7 top 10s over 8 races, almost 550 laps led. Which ranks him third behind Hamlin and Byron. Gives you some nice place differential upside. Really like Chase Elliott today. Guy I do not like is Tyler Reddick, which is crazy to say, given that he's won 4 of the first 6 races. But Martinsville just isn't really a good track for him. He'll be the first to admit it. His average finished here is 21st over those 8 races. He only has 1 top 10. But if there's ever a year for him to turn it around and have a good Martinsville race, it's going to be this year. Briscoe surprised me. I really thought he would be better. Practice and qualifying, which was a concern, which given how Joey Logano did last week with practice and qualifying, I am a little concerned about Briscoe, but his teammates are really good here. So if they can get this car figured out, or maybe his race pace will be better, should be a pretty good place differential play. He's finished top 10 in 6 of the 8 races here. So the track history here says, yes, play Chase Briscoe, but we made the same argument last week with Joey Logano, and it didn't work out for us, but that was kind of an off week. Speaking of Logano, he has yet to finish outside the top 10 at Martinsville. He's the only driver over those 8 races who has finished top 10 every single time. Average finish of 6th. That's really good for a driver who's only $9,000 starting ninth. This team's going to be looking for a bounce back weekend, and he was also top 5 in the practice metrics for the 20, 25, and 30 lap averages. Gibbs, pretty good starts to the year. Our fear is starting this far forward, though. I don't know if he's going to have the pace to lead laps, which you're going to need starting fourth. Over 7 Martinsville races, he has 0 top 10s, an average finish of 19th. He was second in the 5 lap average, but other than that, there wasn't really much indicating that he's going to be a good play, despite his good qualifying efforts. I really do like Bubba Wallace and Ryan Preece. Wallace was top 3 across all the practice metrics. Average finish of 11th here. He has 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and 23XI has been the team to beat. So pretty good value in speed for a guy starting 15th for $8,300. Ryan Priest, too, short track specialist. He won the Bowman Clash to start the year. He's led 135 laps with three top tens in six races, average finish of 12th. RFK seems to be getting better every year. Really like both Bubba Wallace and Ryan Priest. Yeah, I do not like the other RFK cars though. Buscher historically has not been a good track for him. 20th place, average finish, only one top 10. Same thing with Brad Keselowski. I was actually at that race way, way back when he led like 450 of the 500 laps or something like that. But like Buscher, he only has one top 10 over eight races, and his average finish in the next gen at Martinsville is in the 20s. Um, Josh Berry, another short track specialist, top five across the practice metrics. So pretty good tournament option for a lap leader. This car has pretty good speed, but you really need him to lead laps and finish well, for starting third. So maybe for tournaments. Ross Chastain looks like a pretty good value play. He's been really consistent at Martinsville, 8.5 average finish over eight races. He has three top fives, five top tens. It's a nice place differential value option for this price. So I'm actually going to bump him up to high interest. Hocevar, good speed, starting seventh, a little bit too far forward. I feel like Kyle Busch is going to be a trap play. Just really off. Hated his car. RCR is trending in the wrong direction. And Kyle Busch for only $7,000, starting 34th. I think a lot of DFS players are going to play him. My concern is he's going to go multiple laps down and just finish deep in the 20s. Cindric, maybe a tournament option. Penske runs well here, but starting sixth leaves little room for error. Allgaier starts around where I think he's going to finish. Suarez has been a pretty good surprise to us this year. That speed warrants some DFS interest, despite Martinsville not really being a great track for him. He doesn't have any top tens in eight races, and his average finish here is 23rd. So he doesn't really project that well, but recent speed and momentum says maybe you should consider him for your player pool. AJ Allmendinger is a guy I really thought would be better at Martinsville. For whatever reason, the narrative is, hey, these road course guys should run well here, but AJ just has not. His average finish here is 26th over the six race sample size. Zilich, maybe he can turn it around, GPP option, probably top 20 upside. Jones, a little bit more of a tournament play. Michael McDowell kind of starts around where I think he might finish. John Hunter Nemechek starts deep in the field, so I think he'll be able to gain you some positions. He's more of a pure attrition play. I feel like you can stack with your lap leaders. SVG, talk about the road course narrative. He goes out and puts it on fifth. So pretty good qualifying effort, but for DFS purposes, we do not really want to go there. I don't think he'll be able to maintain that position or lead any laps. Gregson starts deep, always seems to finish deep or is involved in incidents. Zane Smith, maybe a tournament play, but kind of starts around where I think his ceiling upside is. I really do like Todd Gilliland for a value play, 29th. Typically runs pretty decently here. Back-to-back top tens last year. Good place differential upside to work with too. Very affordable. Austin Dillon is actually decent at the short tracks. He's pretty cheap too, only $5,600, starting 30th. Not a good qualifying effort, but again, another pure attrition play to stack with your lap leaders. Stenhouse, not very good, but he starts so deep and he's so cheap. You just kind of plug him in and know he's going to get you, probably some positive points. Austin Hill starts DFL, so as long as he finishes the race, he's going to gain you some positions. And then other than that, Custer just doesn't really have the speed. Ty Dillon, maybe, Herbst, Cody Ware, much rather just, pay up for the Gillans, the Dillons, and the Hills if you can. So I know it's a pretty quick video, a little bit later than I wanted to. Family stuff has just been crazy the last month. All good stuff. So thank you guys for tuning in, your patience and your following. Best of luck today for the race, and we'll catch you next week.